Okay, so we are headed from Knoxville to Washington Dulles. On about a 1 hour flight in the X-Crafts Embraer E145. This is the XR. And what I've noticed now with the X-Crafts ERJ is that the ambient airport sounds are very, very loud. And I'm not sure why that is, and it cannot be adjusted in the EFB. So that's very interesting. Anyway, let's jump into a quick view of the route here. So here we are parked at gate. What's up, Vintage? Happy Tuesday. Actually, Tuesday's work day for you, so maybe not so could be happier Tuesdays if you had a day off on Tuesday, but hope it's going okay so far. Yeah, I just decided to do an impromptu stream, short flight up to Washington Dulles from Knoxville in the X-Crafts Embraer E145, the XR. We do have presently ATC covering Atlanta Center covering our area right now. But got the OFP, air distance 383. It's basically a short flight. Wheels up, wheels down, an hour and 4 minutes. Flight level 310. We are taking. Oh, that's right. You had the extraction yesterday. My God, bro. Got well soon. That is rough. That is rough stuff. I'm sure you got. Hope they gave you some good prescriptions for that. Well, hopefully you won't have to speak to anybody at work. You just can say like, "Hey, can't talk to you." Print out a few signs. Block fuel's 6.3 thousand pounds. We're well below our maximum takeoff weight of about 10,000 below there. 43,000 pounds on estimated takeoff weight. Estimated landing weight 40.6 thousand, which is about 3,500 below maximum. And we are looking at 38 packs out of a possible 50, so obviously we could see how light we were. Short trip, not a large passenger count, and we'll go jump on into the cockpit. Crazy loud stuff. All right, I actually got to go to AviTab first here, and you know, the ground objects don't do anything. And I think it's hard to tell here because is it the perspective? Doesn't get larger. I think that's a oversight, perhaps, on X-Craft's part. No painkillers. Okay, so thrust levels are in idle, speed brake is closed, flaps are fully retracted, that's all good. Landing gear lever is down. Gotta get my checklists. Here we go. Got my checklist together. So that looks good. Let's go to the park brake is now set, so ground objects are useless. We'll connect the GPU. And before we do anything, I'm going to get our charts, Jeppesen charts together, KTYS. So 5 right and 23 left is closed. So we will be departing from 5 left, which is actually the active runway in real life right now as well. Knoxville 7 departure. Glade Spring is our probably going to get vectors to Glade Spring from the departure, so we climb on heading 051 or assigned by ATC for vectors to the filed route, and top altitude will be 6,000, so we'll expect that from either the PDC or the clearance from ATC. And going into Dulles, we have the Gibbs 6 from Sitter. And we got the runway Dulles landing north, so all 3 runways, left, center, and right, are all active, but we don't have any ATC currently in Dulles, so ideally we will take one right because it's a shorter taxi to the gates, so that's what we're going to plan for. Approach ILS or localizer runway 1 right. Okay, and then we'll get 2 more charts, the airport chart and then the parking gate chart. So we'll be coming off of 1 right, 3.5 kilometer runway, rolling out to probably Kilo 4 onto Kilo, and then we will be taking Kilo onto Bravo into the Alpha concourse. And we will be, Gate 1 Alpha is expecting us. Okay, so that's all the charts. We'll come back to those a little bit later when we set up the FMS. But right now, let's go to and get our batteries on.
All unit okay.
At the current METAR in Knoxville is 1753 Zulu, so not that old, but half an hour. Winds 320 at 6, visibility 10 miles, a few clouds 4,800, scattered 25,000, temperature 28, dew point at 14, altimeter 3008. So we'll take the number 2 avionics. And we'll just jump to the electrical page, and we'll see that the GPU is offering 28.5 volts, so we'll accept that. And there we have GPU now powering Essential 1 and Essential 2. And we can also now take Avionics 1. And we'll set up that QNH here of 3008. Okay, that's checked, and 3008 on standby, and we got to put it on the first officer's side as well. 3008, that's all good. Okay, going through the rest of the overhead for the moment. Emergency exit lights to arm. Overhead panel light can be turned off. Fuel pumps, we're going to turn on pump number 2. And we're just going to get a low pressure warning there. That's okay. ICU panel is dark. That's good. Nav light goes on. And we'll go and do the fire test. Okay, those silence themselves. We can go and get the APU started. Is that box on? Yes, it is. Start position for a couple of seconds. Release. APU is rising. It's interesting here how we don't get the APU voltage and well, I wouldn't expect the amps. That makes sense, but certainly the voltage. I would expect to see the voltage come up on the APU right now, but and the hertz for that matter. I don't know why they don't show the hertz, but okay. APU is good. We can actually put the shed buses to override and disconnect the GPU. And disconnect the GPU outside. Alright, Vintage, sorry, I've just been focusing a little too much on the flight preparation here. You have a good nap, sir. We'll see you later. Okay, so we have APU at 28 volts and offering 300 amps. It's actually pulling 300 amps. That's, these aircraft systems are very, very power hungry. We'll go get the 132.975. Okay, so that's set. And the one-way, one right ILS frequency. It's a DME ILS, and it's 110.1. Okay, that's set. Just wrapping up the rest of the overhead here. APU is good. Ignition switch is auto. That's fine. That's good. Leave the hydraulics off for now. Fasten seatbelt signs. No smoking signs on. I'll put the windshield heat on now. Why not? And we'll get the packs going. And oops. All right, overhead looks good.
Delta 1153, descend here. Can't 3 Rebel line altimeter 30.
ACL, we'll put that down to 7,000. Might need to adjust it after we get our clearance. FMS. Your FMS 2. Okay, those look good. And I gotta get rid of these.
Proceed direct to Young Gun, climb maintain level 320.
Marker.
Delta 9406, cross chipper at 13,000 and 250 knots, Atlanta altimeter 3006.
Say again, crossing restrictions at chipper, 9406.
Delta 9406, chipper out of maintain 13,000 and 250 knots.
Affirmative, we'll cross chipper 13,000 and 250 knots, 9406.
Sir, 4750, cross Glavin out of maintain 12,000 and 250 knots, Atlanta altimeter 3006. Sir, 4750, Atlanta Center. Turkish 31 kilo, contact Atlanta approach 133.47.
Radio, what's up, 4750?
Sir, 4750, cross Glavin at 12,000, 12,000, and 250 knots, Atlanta altimeter 3006.
Up 02006, and we'll expect to pass Glavin at 12,000 and 6250 knots. 4750.
Alright, let's get this guy on board. Atlanta Center, hello. Commuter 4848 on the ground in Knoxville, looking for IFR to Washington Dulles.
I'm sorry, on the ground in Knoxville, you're stepped on, just say call sign only.
Commuter Air 4848.
Sorry about that, commuter 4848, Atlanta Center, clear to the Washington Dulles Airport via radar vectors as filed. Maintain 12,000, express level 3101, general time to departure. Departure this frequency, squawk 6061.
Clear Dulles via radar vectors. Initial climb 12,000. Expect 310. 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is with you. Squawk 6061. Commute Air 4848.
Spirit 4848, thanks. You're back to correct. Expect 23 left for departure. About to for taxi.
We'll plan for 23 left and call you for taxi. Commute Air 4848. Thank you. Okay, so with a bit of a change, we are now going to the south.
American 1250, Atlanta Center, you with me? Atlanta Center, American 1250, yes sir, flight level 370.
Okay, let's get that information into the airplane. 12,000 is initial altitude. That's set. And 6061 is the squawk. Okay, that's set. TARA looks good. So we are now going 23 left. Runway heading is 231. That is set. All right. Let's get the route done, and then we'll bring on the passengers. We'll go to the position in it here. Okay, the September 3rd, that all looks good. GPS 3548 8359. 3548 8359. We're good with that. Load that up. GPS 1 position loaded into the navigation system. And flight plan. We are going to load. That's the one right there. And activate. And that all looks good. We will do the departure from runway now 23 left, and we'll just say it's the Knoxville 7 and activate. So we are 231 degrees. That looks fine. And go to our perf in it. Page 1 is okay. Climb, cruise, and descent speeds are okay. Page 3 is fine. 310 is going to be our cruise altitude. Transition altitude looks fine. Speed limit 250, 10,000, that's good. ISADEV we'll leave at 0. Cruise winds are what they are, and altitude 310, that's fine. And so this is actually not correct, and hopefully X-Crafts will sort that out, because we should be able to, basic operating weight 27758 is in the FMS, and when I go to weight and balance, I know that my we'll leave that at 0 fuel weight according to my flight plan. I'm just gonna do it to the nearest 100 pounds. The 0 fuel weight is 37.4 with a payload of 9.7. So let's say it's a payload of 10, that would be 27.4. But I've taken 300 too much off. So 27.4, so it's actually 27.7. is the basic operating weight. So that's good. We're saying the fuel is 0, so if I put fuel 0 in there, it's not actually allowing me to put it in. So all of these figures here should be able to be manipulated. I think maybe I can do the passengers, which is 38 at 175, and that's not even allowing me there either. So hopefully X-Crafts update that. It may become, I know this becomes active at some stage, but it may be when I have to do this. So reserve fuel weight is 37,400, and our block fuel is, 6,300. And then we'll crest a manual load sheet and load the airplane. Now maybe that is what sparks this into life. So can I save fuel 0 here right now? No, I can't do that yet either. So the gauge is 629er, which is basically 6,300, which is just what we put in. Now our payload, our OEW 27758 matches the BOW, which is fair enough. So therefore my actual payload is about 9,700 pounds. So it's splitting it between cargo and passengers here. So it's pretty close to 4,080 pounds into cargo, but the gross weight should be spitting out here. So it's actually not correct. But we've already loaded the airplane. If we said 6,300, see, it's allowing me to put in 6,300. You see, if I say no fuel, if I say 1 pound of fuel, you should be able to put 0 in here and still get a gross weight. Because the gross weight will be your 0 fuel weight, obviously, if you put 0 in for the fuel. But we put 6,300. And I also want to put cargo at 0. You know, I don't want to do that. Why can't I?
1250 to 7 flip 6 arrival shuttle landing north.
You know, the gross weight of 43,629, 43,629. I mean, that's pretty darn close to the flight plan. But you know, why can't I adjust my passenger count the way I want it and the cargo? But we'll confirm that.
American 1250, say again, my apologies.
Okay, estimated time en route, hour 7 minutes. Alright, fuel required 3.1. Fuel,
Flip, arrival and altimeter 3009, American 1250.
Yeah, destination 727 for now. Climb maintain, follow 360.
okay,
Jacksonville's offline, your frequency change approved.
all those pages look fine. And I want to go to the arrival page. We'll be run right, that looks fine. The approach is ILS 01 right.
Runway 1 right, clip takeoff.
From, let's see, where does the SIOB will be the last fix of the arrival. And then EDSCO. EDSCO is D4.9. So we'll do it via Ella if it's available. No, ears. Faller. We could do faller is more realistic. Helms. We'll do faller on the Gibbs 6 from Sitter. Then go and activate that. Okay, just scanning through the pages now. 23 left, heading 231. That looks fine. As assigned, there's discontinuity. But he'll be giving us radar vectors to Golf Zulu Golf VOR, and then flight plan route from there. And we're almost going straight into the so POMIC is 240 or above. That looks good. Hesse is 300 below, 240 above. That looks good at 280 knots. Hesse is good. Geislow 220 below, 17,000 above. That looks good at, he has it at 250, but that's not accurate. Okay, make that 280. E-bone is 28 knots, 280 knots, 190 below, 15 above. Yeah, Kilmer. 250, hard 11, that looks good. Otto, hard 9, May, hard 7, Ripon, hard 6. Hard 9, hard 7, hard 6, that's excellent. Gibbs, a hard 6, and Psyob, a hard 6 at 210. Super duper. And then we have Faller, 6,000 or above, which is good, and then we have the 1,000 step increments. Okay, route looks good. Weather is on board. Weights are on the aircraft, just performance data now. Takeoff weight is, got the numbers on the FMS here. So gross weight of 43,629, we'll say about 150 pounds for taxi and APU burn. So we'll say 43, 40, what did I say, 150 pounds? So 43,480. 43,500. Runway 23 left, and condition is dry. Winds are, well, actually just get the X-plane winds here. I'm not going to make that mistake again. 320 at 5, and altimeter is 3006, so 320, 5. Should have gotten the temperature there as well. 28, yeah, 28. 30.06. That. Takeoff 1 thrust, that's fine. Flaps 9, compute. Okay, we could just send this to the PDF, but we'll do it the, what I believe is the actual way it's done in real life. We'll actually go to our multifunction / navigation display screen, and we will hit return here and grab our speed. So V1 is 126. And we'll put that there. V rotate 131. There we go. V2 136. And that is wonderful. V speeds are all in, and we see them on the indicated airspeed tape on the PFD, so we are good there. So we could just send that to the PFD. It would do exactly the same thing we just did. The VFS is the one engine out speed, so we got to get up to 164 knots to our MSA altitude, which excuse me.
Washington's offline frequency change approved.
So MSA altitude, basically 8,000 feet, 7,900 before we can start dealing with an engine out issue. Okay, so kind of a weird thing here and rather unique to the Embraer ERJs is the FADEC. So we have to enter we have to tell the FADEC what our engine takeoff rating is, thrust rating, because there is no auto throttle in this aircraft. So we get the return page here, and we go system and then takeoff page here, and you'll see here takeoff mode, reference takeoff temperature, and anti-ice. We need to enter that information in here. So the way we do that is with this takeoff data here, we click the store button first, and that highlights. So takeoff mode is going to be takeoff 1, so we're happy with that. We hit store again, and as you can see, the little arrow has gone down to the next line regarding reference takeoff temperature. So flex temp is not simulated, so the reference air temperature will be the outside air temperature, which is 28. So it's currently 15 on the menu right now on the screen, so we gotta increase that 13. So we use this little switch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's interesting. It went to 30. I must have double clicked something there. So reference takeoff temperature is now the outside air temperature, so it's not a flex or thrust reduction temperature. And then the anti-ice is off, so we got to go click store twice. And all of these have now been entered, so the engines know what they need to do for takeoff. Okay. So cockpit safety inspection, maintenance status is checked, cockpit emergency equipment is checked, overhead panel has been checked, hydraulic panel, pump 3A is off, and that is checked, passenger oxygen panel is checked. What I will do is the touchdown zone elevation here in Dulles of 312 will go down here. Oops, excuse me. And we'll set that to 300, the field elevation. ELT armed, but it's not simulated, so we'll assume it's armed. Landing gear lever has been checked, it's down. Engine start stop selectors are in stop. We have checked that already. Speed brake lever is closed, we've already checked that. Flap lever is fully retracted, we've already checked that. Rat manual deploy is, I don't think that's simulated here. I know they did it on the, ooh, got a golden ticket. Can I pick that up? Dang. I know they simulated it on the E-jets. Normally it is on the center console, and sometimes it's on the ground even. Alright, we'll go ahead without it. And circuit breakers have been checked, so we have cockpit safety inspection checklist is complete. Not going to go through the power up checklist. Pre-flight passivation panel, we've just set it. Oxygen masks. We got some Fiji water there. Nice, some bit of advertising. Okay. Oxygen's been checked. Flight instruments have been checked on both sides. Altimeter 3006 is actually where we are right now, not 3008 any longer. But we can go and just adjust those. Okay. Flight instruments have been checked. Thrust levers are in idle. That's been checked already. Park brake is on. And ACARS, we have set the ACARS. We are running our ACARS is running. And squawk code 6061 TA and TR and excuse me, PA and RA are on. And we're gonna push back into the alleyway here. I can get rid of the jetway. Gotta push this back all the way into the corner here.
Call the 80 pilot request. I'm sorry, last person that shared requested.
You're on the cockpit. Fine, acknowledged. Call me through when you are ready.
Delta 85, go ahead. Delta 85, again, looking for a runway 9 right in Atlanta. Delta 85, you're going to have to make that request at the approach controller. Roger.
Let's see who's on air. This is Atlanta.
Maintain pilot 3, or actually, maintain pilot 400. Hello, Delta 44, with you.
Down the cockpit. No, he's driving up.
Going down to 33,000, Delta 44, Atlanta, welcome.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Get our red beacon on.
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
Should be smooth sailing on this
Starting
flight.
pushback. And you may start engine.
Atmosphere very tranquil.
Once again, welcome aboard X-Crafts. We are creating the most flyer-friendly aircraft, and it's our sincere hope that you have a pleasant experience with us today. At this time, I would like to review some of the safety features of this Embraer 145. Please refer to the safety information card located in the seat pocket in front of you. You can follow along
as I point out the airplane's safety features. There are 4 clearly marked exits, the main cabin door through which you entered, an exit on the right side located at row 2, and 2 window exits located at row 11. Take a moment
to locate the exit nearest you, keeping in mind that the closest usable exit may be located behind you. In the event of an emergency, this aircraft
we are late. We should have been pushing off at
the exits indicated by lighted exit signs. In the event
I forgot to do. Dang. We're half an hour late on the push.
Pull it up and away from the seat frame, and put your arms through the straps on the underside of the cushion. Then rest your upper body on the cushion. Several aviation regulations require your compliance with all lighted signs.
We probably lost our right wing.
And crew member instructions. Federal law prohibits smoking in the aircraft cabin and lavatory at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying a lavatory smoke detector is prohibited. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal clip into the buckle. To tighten, pull on the loose end of the strap. To release, lift up on the faceplate of the buckle. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Also, for your safety, we require that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated, in the event you encounter unexpected turbulence. Should oxygen be needed, a mask will drop from the compartment located above your seat. Pull the mask out of the clip, then pull the mask to your face, making sure the pinhole is free from the unit above. When placing the mask over your nose and mouth, secure it with the elastic band, and tighten the tabs on the side. Even though oxygen is flowing, the plastic bag may not appear to inflate.
Okay, we're going to start up engine number 2.
In preparation for
we have the pump on for that, so
securely fastened low and tight. If your tray table is up and blocked, and seat backs are in their upright.
into rising.
Also, an item needs to be placed
Ignition alpha.
And large portable electronic devices need to be turned off and closed.
ITT.
All lightweight devices must be switched to airplane.
That's okay. Don't worry about that caution.
In a moment,
all of those cautions will go away after we get some generators going here.
If we can make your flight more enjoyable.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Park brake set.
Disconnecting tow.
That's a good engine start. Turn on that pump. And their engine 1 and 2 is on the rise.
1104.
Internal turbine temperature rising. Fuel flow. Gen 1 is active. 2 good engine starts. Disconnect everything.
Golf, your reeboks correct. Expect 2 for departure, vats ready to taxi.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Looks like a James Bond villain operating the tug here.
Golf 15 miles, double descent.
Okay, let's get the engine bleeds rocking. AP bleed goes off. I'm gonna stop the APU. And that is rapidly powering down. I think they usually wait for it to get to like 10%, and at which time you turn the master switch to off. Okay, let's get the hydraulics to auto. Shed bus can now go back to auto. APU is at 1. And we put the mass at the opposition. We're going to release the gust lock and do an ostensible flight control check. There we go. Full up. Pull down. Aileron left. Aileron right. Rudder full left. Rudder full right. Brakes look good. Rudders look far too sensitive here. They've already gone full there. That's a problem. Anyway. I'm not going to worry about that now. Alright, after start checklist, flaps. We'll set those to 9. Flight controls have been checked. ICAS, we have the Alpha 1 perf message, which will go away once we release the brakes. And dispatch clearance, we're going to ask for our taxi clearance now. Flaps set 9. Pitch trim, yaw and roll. Now pitch trim is at 8, that is good. And aileron and rudder trim are in neutral. Atlanta Center, commuter 4848 on the ground, Knoxville, looking for taxi clearance, 23 left.
Commuter 4848, thanks for 123 left, taxi via Alpha, advisory departure.
Alpha to 23 left will advise when ready for departure, commuter 4848. Taxi light. Use the park brake. Interesting how they picked 2-3 left because
Sergeant 1250, join me 1 right localizer and you can track that inbound.
2-3 left is actually closed in real life, according to NOTAMs in Knoxville right now. Okay, 2-3 left via Alpha. We're just going to go straight ahead to Romeo 1.
Contact Memphis Center 132.55.
Takeoff, okay.
All right. So the after start checklist is complete. The ECAS messages have all gone as we expected upon releasing the park brake.
Delta 44, crash chipper to maintain 13,000 and 250 knots, Atlanta altimeter 30.
And before takeoff checklist, takeoff configuration has been checked to brake temperatures. We make this turn first.
Atlanta Center, Beirut, 1711, looking 513 there. Southwest 512, Atlanta Center, welcome aboard.
All right, where were we? We were at brake temperatures. Actually, you know what? This is an Embraer E-Jets checklist here. I don't think I have brake temperature capability here. Gotta keep an eye on my taxi speed here. Feels like you're going faster in these jets that are much lower to the ground. Oh, we got brake temps. Brake temps are in the green. We don't have them digitally, but we have them Brake temperatures are checked, they look good. ICAS is checked, he's no messages in the ICAS, so we're good there.
That was 201, sir, sorry. American 1920, Atlanta Center, turn left heading 330, runway 1 right, clear for takeoff.
So heading 231 is set as runway heading. So he'll probably give us vectors on departure here, so...
American 1777, Atlanta Center, you call it? United Nations 8093, Atlanta.
So before takeoff checklist is complete.
United Nations 8093, Atlanta Center, thanks, call me, tape level 370.
Atlanta Center, commuter 4848 on the ground, Knoxville, ready for departure.
Standby. American 1777, Atlanta Center, you radar. I'm sorry, climb maintain level 340. Commuter 4848, one variable 3, runway 23 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 23 left, commuter 4848. We are cleared for takeoff. We're going to fly runway heading. Our initial climb clearance is 12,000.
Delta 726, Atlanta Center, welcome, climb maintain level 370.
Approach end is clear. Clear. This runway is actually completely wonky, so we'll see how this works out.
Proceed right to Astor and climb maintain level 230. Delta 2549 to set maintain level 330. Delta 2549 to set maintain
Heading
level
231.
330. Delta 2404, Atlanta Center, welcome.
80 knots.
1920, climb maintain level 360, delete speed restriction.
V1, rotate. You're up. Heading select.
Osprey 37 Lima, jacks off line for exchange prep. Again, 441, Atlanta Center, hold short 1 right.
Go flight level change, or actually leave it at speed.
Commuter 4840, radar contact, altitude.
2.5 for 12,000, commuter 4848.
Commuter 4848, thanks, climb maintain level 310.
Climb maintain 310, commuter 4848. So we're good to 310.
American 1250, long commercial, right turn off, unable ground point 9.
And we'll get our speed up to 250.
Delta 44, contact Atlanta, approach 133.
We'll let the nose come down now.
3347, Delta 44, we'll see everywhere.
We'll leave it around 10 degrees. Let that airspeed build up. Let's keep that aircraft trimmed up.
154, Atlanta Center, welcome.
Go flaps up.
Atlanta Center, Delta 66, 24 meters.
start to climb.
24, Atlanta Center, welcome. Delta 1488, cross Ozzy, and maintain 14,000, the Atlanta altimeter 3004. Ozzy, 14,000, KTYS. Well, Atlanta Center, Delta Heavy, climbing flight level 14,000 feet. Delta 210, Atlanta Center, climb maintain, follow 330. Climbing 9330, Delta 2 Heavy. Delta 85, contact line approach 133.47. Approach at 33.7, Delta 85, we'll see you. Southwest 512, cross chipper at 13,250 knots, Atlanta altimeter 3004. Cross chipper at 13,250 knots, altimeter 3004, is it for the visual? Southwest 512, ground approach.
Autopilot.
Delta 753, contact Delta Center 132.55. 132.55, Delta 753.
So he's really making us go out of our way here.
Commuter 4848, clear direct to Golf Zulu Golf VOR.
Direct Golf Zulu Golf, Commuter 4840. Alright, he remembered us. So we're actually gonna vector. We'll see how it works. This is where X-Crafts can sometimes get notorious. I'm actually going to fly this as a heading. We're going to zoom in.
Delta 1488, Atlanta.
And let's get our speed up to 270 into the turn. Direct to again. Recycle the direct to.
American 1920, Sunday the speeds.
Continue the heading onto 060. Let's recycle the direct to again. We'll leave it at 060. And we'll recycle the direct to again. Go nav. Okay, that worked out quite well. Golf Zulu Golf, 124 nautical miles, 21 minutes away. Okay, do a little housekeeping here. All the lights can come off. Transition altitudes, standard barometric, and standard barometric, and standard barometric on the standby instrument is good. Okay, after takeoff checklist, flaps are 0, checked. Landing gear up, checked. Pressurization. Airport altitude is checked. Cabin altitude 2,200 feet. Delta P 6.7 psi. And rate of climb, cabin altitude rate of climb 5,000 feet per minute. Looks good.
On American 1920.
Speeds were not the perf data, excuse me. Climb speed 0.6. So actually come up on that. We go 6.5. Actually draw that back to 0.64. We'll increase our rate of climb. TRS right now is on climb, obviously. And we'll be going to be setting that to cruise once we level out. And we'll have to probably monitor the throttles ourselves manually, just to ensure that we kind of level off at around Mach 0.74, 0.75. Gotten very quiet. Well, it looks like Atlanta Center just dropped, actually. Yep, Atlanta Center just maybe I missed that, but normally I don't miss things like that. He was sounding lethargic, so maybe he just said, you know what, just gonna do an Irish exit. Okay, let's go over to Unicom, and we can get our CTAF. Oh yeah, this is the guy saying, where did Atlanta Center go? CTAF KIAD. It's 3442. So we're going to be leveling off at cruise altitude of 310 here, and we'll now set our cruise speed to Mach 0.75. We're going to leave it in. We're going to leave the TRS in climb because just to shorten the time to get up to our cruise speed. Because once we set that to cruise, N1 ceiling will reduce and therefore take longer to get to our cruising speed. Fairly close. We can now set TRS now goes to cruise. It's now capping our 89% N1 is just we're never going to be able to sustain 0.75. It'll actually send us right into an overspeed. So we're gonna have to adjust this ourselves. I think usually around 0.83 is pretty good, or excuse me, 83% N1. But it really depends on atmospheric conditions and obviously weight of the aircraft as well. But as you can see, we are leave that there at 83% N1 and see how that works out. But we're just hovering around Mach 0.76, which I suppose is okay. It's just getting a little close to overspeed territory. VATSIM weather in Dulles is winds 3405. Visibility is great. Clouds are just broken all the way top down. Temperature 28, dew point 14. 3004 on the altimeter. Perfect conditions. One thing I would like X-Crafts to do on the next version of this is, so we go to settings here, and we have sound. We don't have any, we have cabin announcement sounds, but we don't have cabin environment sounds. Because if I go back here, I don't know if it can be heard on viewers of the stream, but it is significantly louder in the cabin. This is an extremely loud cabin sound, and it's not adjustable. Now perhaps I could go, you know what, perhaps I could say cockpit engine sounds. doubt about it, cockpit engine sounds have dropped off significantly. But still, definitely a bit of a sound improvement here, but still extremely loud. Extremely loud cockpit, cabin sounds. So I would like the F mod to be improved. It's a very primitive right now. We'll leave the sounds at like 70% because in real life they are almost inaudible. I've watched a lot of Embraer 145 YouTube videos, cockpit videos, and it really is almost inaudible. The wind sounds are the range and the wind sounds 40% cockpit wind sounds inaudible. 60% from inaudible to very loud, and I don't even want to go beyond 60%. It'll just blow my eardrums. But that's a bit nuts. But I'll leave it at about 50. Cabin announcements, couldn't care less. Avionics fans are fine. Master volume at 100. So very primitive soundscape. We can hope for better in the next version. Even I did get pings on the radar in Hong Kong on the Flight Factor a few days ago in a stream, which was surprising. I haven't seen WRX pings in X-plane in any aircraft for months. But weather radar is now active. Speed is holding pretty well. I mean, this aircraft is, systems-wise, this aircraft is so close to, you know, I should keep a list. Flex temp is not simulated. The FMS is pretty darn good, but needs more work. I should really just put a list together. But I think the ERJs are in much better shape right now than the E-Jets or X-Crafts. The E-Jets have, if you ask me, quite a lot of problems, and that was advertised that wasn't delivered, and I don't like to talk about it more than that on the E-Jets. I think I've said my piece on the E-Jets, and that's that. But I would say the ERJs are a better buy than the E-Jets, if one is considering who doesn't have either and is considering one or the other. So that would be my verdict. But you know, the trade-offs. You know, the ERJs don't have auto throttle. Like, if you really want auto throttle, the ERJs don't have VNAV. You know, you really want VNAV. These are features. The bare bones features of the two aircrafts are different. Okay, so we are just over 3 miles away from Zulu Gulf, and then we're going to be direct to Sitter to begin the arrival into Dulles. We're turning into the wind a little bit here, so we just want to monitor our airspeed. Aircoms, I've never used the aircoms, so I don't want to necessarily start tutorial to power up an engine start, but enable in-flight tips. I've actually disabled those. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the aircoms. Okay, one thing you have to be careful with I think this is maybe an X-Crafts thing, but you see how there's kind of like published holds here? Like Kilmer has a right-hand hold, and May has a right-hand hold. Now those are not mandatory holds. Those would be holds that you would if things are busy and ATC needs to put arriving aircraft into a bit of a holding pattern, that those would be the holds. But I've seen X-Crafts FMSs actually take the holds at face value and actually make them a part of the flight plan. So we just want to make sure. For example, so we need to look at Kilmer and May and make sure there's no holes there. Okay, so Kilmer looks alright. And May looks alright as well. What you can actually do is you can actually select the, so before we do that, we'll go to plan mode and then select, and then I'm going to cycle through our points here. Even zoom in a little bit. It's interesting, you can't do this cycle with the, without the screen being popped out. You have to pop the screen out. So there's Kilmer. So we can see there's no holes in the flight plan right now. But something to be aware of. Sometimes it will actually make what should be a standby hold I suppose, for lack of a better way of describing it. All of a sudden it'll just be a hold in your flight plan. So it's always very important to check the flight plan, stepping through every single step of the flight plan, make sure everything looks good. To check as well, particularly if you're flying on VATSIM, sometimes navigation, I'm in nav mode right now, sometimes navigation can just slip out of navigation without warning, without caution, without a bell, and go into roll, ROL, which is basically just wings level and maintaining current heading. And that can sometimes happen. I'm not sure what that's about. And let's push to synchronize. Speed is getting a little on the high side since we've turned into the wind a little bit, so we'll just nudge it down very slightly. We'll try to get down to, let's say, about 82%, and one will do us. So at the same time, a really, really nice airplane to fly. This is not simulated. We can actually, while we're here, and get our landing performance entered. So we're going to plan for runway 01 right. And we'll get the current weather in Dulles. And we have 1852 Zulu, and our current time is 1943, so it's nearly an hour old. 340.5. QNH is 3004. Landing. So here we go. So, excuse me. So our current fuel is basically just over 4,000 pounds. And we're looking at 3.1, so we're looking at burning another 1,000 pounds of fuel roughly. So 3,100 pounds of fuel remaining. And my zero fuel weight is 37.4, so that gives us a landing weight of 40,500. Ups 22, we'll see what that looks like and compute. V approach 135, VREF 130, I'm good with that. V approach 135, that is set. Give a cross center. Looking at we've gone through the arrival. So on the approach, we'll be on the left downwind naturally to SIOP, and that'll be a hard 6,000 at 210 knots. And presuming we're not going to get any ATC going into the field, so we'll make a left-hand turn to heading 100. To see what that looks like on the, go to plan mode and pop this out, and to zoom in a little bit. So there we are at SIOB, and we will be continuing southbound out of SIOB. Actually, leave SIOB track 190, which is basically a left downwind for runway 1 right. Taking it out to Fowler. And once we get to Fowler, we can get out of that mode. Get the Fowler Controller is basically 6,000, so that's perfect. And we are basically 18.2 miles DME from Baller in, so given plenty of time to have everything prepared for the final approach. In the event of a missed approach, we're going to climb to 800, then make a right turn, continuing to climb to 3000 on heading 060, inbound EMI VOR, and then enter a hold at Westminster EMI VOR, the left-hand hold. Okay, so if we have to call missed approach 800 feet or below, then we need first climb to 800 and then make a right turn to heading 060 and continue climb to 3000, and then engage the outbound 219 radial from the Westminster VOR. And I think that's all in. Missed approaches actually work quite well in the ERJs. I've done a few of them. Navigation logic seems to work good. So again, going back to plan mode here for a second. And cycling through. Zooming in. Baller, those are in, and then we have the EMI, but it doesn't seem to have the hold, which is interesting. Looks like it's actually got the hold. Fairly close now to our top of descent. check the ATC in the area. Nothing happening. Yep. Okay, our descent checklist. Auto brake not simulated. Landing data is set. Excuse me. Approach 135 is set, and landing flaps will be 22. Approach briefing is completed, so descent checklist is complete. And we're basically right at our top of descent, so our first real constraint is 240, so we can set our target altitude now to 240, and we'll go speed and pull our throttles back just a bit gently at first. So we're going to get our descent speed down to .76, or keep it at .76. So and we .76 until 250 knots. Across Hesse, so the next target now is Geislow at 17,000. Switch over out of Mach now and draw our speed back to 250. Miles from Geislow. .220 below, and Geislow at 280. B-bone is still 280. Kilmer is a hard 1000. And the altimeter in Dulles is 3004, so we'll go ahead and set that now. That's set, and that is set, and standby set. It's good. Inbound Kilmer, just under 20 miles to Kilmer. We're going to go down to 1000. Approach checklist. Passenger signs are on. Altimeters are set. 3004 on both sides and on standby. Approach checklist is complete. Meandering river down there in this little valley. I wonder where that is. Okay, we got 1,000 to go. Then we're going to slow our speed down to 250 at Kilmer. 7,000. And speed 251. Pull it back. After auto, we have May at 7,000, and then Ripon at 6, Gibbs at 6 all the way. 1,000 to go. We're 6 miles from auto. 250 knots. Next speed constraint is actually at PSYOP, so we'll keep it in here going pretty quickly. 250. Gotta get this guy down early. And 110.1. Oh, it's there. Okay. We're good. I don't really think we need this weather radar any longer. Keep the speed up. Okay, we're passing auto. Next is 7,000. And speed 245. We'll actually say 240 is good now. On Unicom, excuse me, nothing on VATSIM. Just under 5 miles from May, 1,600 to go. To go. We'll continue on down to 6,000 to capture Ripon. Let's get the throttles in a position where we'll just hold 240 knots. Which looks like it's around 55.5. Okay. Speed is stabilized. And we'll head over to the CTAF frequency for Dulles. Oops, that was the wrong screen. Traffic, commute air, 4848, crossing Gibbs on the Gibbs 6 arrival. 6,000, planning for one right. Dulles traffic. Sunny J. After Sunny J, we have Psyop. We need to start slowing down. We're 5 miles from Psyop. We're going to reduce our speed to 210 knots for that speed constraint. crossing Scion. At 6,000. Synchronize the heading and go into heading mode. Now on the left downwind. Dulles traffic, Commutair 4848 on the left downwind for 1 right. Descending 6,000, 5,000. Dulles traffic. We'll dive on down to 5,000. Make sure there's no ATC that's just come online. No? Okay. Here's our speed to 200. And we'll pull back on the throttles. Now we get out of FMS mode, we go to nav mode. To get our course at 11 degrees is set. That speed drop because it dropped out of speed mode. We'll get it up to $190. So Toot is 4,000. Treya's 5. Okay. Dulles traffic, Commutair 4848, making left turn onto base for 1 right. Dulles traffic. We're going to make a left turn to 100. Localizer bug is alive. We'll head down to 4,000. Speed. And we'll make a now left turn heading 040. Looks okay. And we'll arm the approach. Localizer glide slope are armed. glider and glide slope are captured. And we are 12.5 miles DME. Dulles traffic commuter 48, fully established ILS 1 right, 12 miles DME, Dulles. What's up, Christian? Perfect timing, brother. We're gonna go flaps 9. Buckle up, bro. And we're gonna slow down to a final approach speed of 135. We'll set our go-around altitude to 3,000. Radio altitude is at 2,000 for minimums. I think that is correct. Yep. Touchdown elevation 300, so we're looking for 280 roughly and gear down. Gear down. Flaps 18. It's actually got the flaps 14, excuse me. You gotta get this the engine power up here. Flaps 22. Flaps 22 set. Just bleed off the speed a little bit. We are 1,700 radio altitude. A little, tiny bit above V approach. Landing checklist, again, landing gear down is checked and flaps 22 set, landing checklist complete. Dulles traffic commuter 48, short final 1 right, Dulles traffic. Okay, let's keep that speed up. Winds are 7 knots, mostly into our face, coming off the left just very slightly. We'll take it in.
Autopilot.
Approaching minimums. $100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10,
not sure why my I'm actually not even holding the yoke right now. That is very, very bizarre behavior. I'm not even holding the yoke. Look at that. I think that's a first. Very disappointing. I did not get that on the center line. FPM is meaningless unless I get that stuff on the center line. Cut off at Kilo 2, which is alright. Wow, it's like I don't know what's happening to the yoke. It's having a conniption. Dulles traffic commuter 4848 vacated 1 right, taxiing Kilo and Alpha 5 to parking. Dulles traffic. The strobe off, inspection light off. Oh, they're already up already. God, my pilot monitoring is really not doing anything. Wow, look at the load. That is so insane.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Wait a minute. Did the plane go back into autopilot as soon as I disconnected the autopilot? Did I even control the landing? I'm totally confused. This plane doesn't even have auto land capability. That's some wild poltergeist stuff happening here. Always an adventure with X-Crafts. Always an adventure. Yeah, it looks like the Kristen, looks like the autopilot may have had a hand in that landing. But I gotta tell you, like, as I was controlling the yoke, it did not feel like the aircraft was trying to resist my inputs. That was all extremely unusual behavior. But like I said, never a dull moment flying X-Crafts airplanes. So we are 1 Alpha for our gate. I gotta hand it to the crew over there at Open Sam. Awesome update. So thank you to everyone over there for doing that. Yeah, he's telling me to go to my left, but I don't think I agree with that. The X-Craft Chicago pilot or Chi pilot, they are they're not bug free, let's put it that way. They're not bug free. You got to be very careful. You got to know what to look out for. Sometimes sometimes they'll drop out of lateral navigation. You know, the ERJs, so like the 135s, the 145s, they're quite a different product entirely to the E-Jets, the 175 and the 190 and the 195, whatever. So they don't really share. I think the ERJs are the best of the two. I think the ERJs have fewer anomalies, although I've had some crazy stuff happen in the ERJ, like particularly after a direct to waypoint command. They can go, I've seen them go completely lose logic entirely. The flight director taking you off on and just a crazy course that makes no sense. So they're not free of bugs. I guess, are they buggy? I suppose one could say they're buggy. But if you start to prepare when you know where they might fall down, and you're ready for it, then they become a very enjoyable thing to do. But of course, you know, it's not exactly the right way to go about things, you know. But I guess the thing with buggy aircrafts, or an aircraft that does have some bugs to it, is you tend to learn more about the aircraft systems, funnily enough, because you're watching out for other things. But let's go and fire up the APU here. My estimation is that they're very close to study level, and but the E-Jets, so this is not an E-Jet, this is the ERJ I'm in right now, but the E-Jet, the E-Jet has quite a few problems. I gotta be honest with you. ILS localizer, glide slope capture problems. Gosh, there are several other problems with the E-Jets. Yes, they need a final. Well, they need a final push and then a polish, if you know what I mean. I mean, visually, I honestly, I can go outside the. I'll go outside the airplane here in a second when I just shut these engines down. APU is there. All right, so let's get these engines off and get the hydraulics off. Get the fuel pumps off. Shed bus to override and silence the caution. Visually, textures, rendering. Textures, renderings, resolutions. The plane looks amazing. I think it's, from a rendering perspective, let me try to get to, actually the wheel hubs are pretty remarkable. Sorry, I should be in a different type of camera mode here. Texturing is right up there with the best. Now I know metals look very glossy, but I think that's an X-plane thing. Hopefully they'll... X-plane is already glossy surfaces, I think, have been a kind of a combatant with a lot of developers since X-Plane 12 was released. But I would say stacked up against their competitors and other high-end add-on, I mean, look at the braiding. They even put the braiding in the cables, you know. I mean, they've done, I don't know who's better than X-Crafts on rendering the airplane. There probably is someone out there. I don't know who it is. But I have to say, you know, X-Crafts has done an incredible job on rendering the airplane, as well as the cockpit textures as well. They're just really excellent. But yeah, just so close, you know. They're nearly study level, you know. The other thing with the Embraers, you know, is like, how can you not have flex temp simulated at this stage? You know, how are you selling a, what is it, $85, $90 aircraft for that has an extremely dodgy ILS capture problem, which has been well documented on many forums and even admitted it is problematic. There's a kind of a workaround saying your flight plan can't have any discontinuities, and then the ILS capture, localizer glide slope capture will work fine. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're flying on VATSIM and the controller tells you to break out of an arrival and fly vectors, then you're screwed. You'll still get the ILS bugs, you'll still get the localizer bug and the glide slope bug, but you'll have to fly it semi-manually. So I better disconnect from the network here and bit of a floater of a landing, but that was just like a weird. That was a weird experience, that landing. I'll have to look back at it. I suspect that the autopilot may have been on during that landing. So we had definitely a long landing and left of center as well. Landing figures looked alright. Go back and end that flight in Volanta. But you know, V3, E-Jets V3 coming out presumably before the end of the year. I mean, they better have. Well, first of all, a pet peeve I have with X-Crafts right now is that they advertised in V2 things that, you know, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't say we'll fix the ILS capture bug in V3, but V3 is going to cost you money. It's like, excuse me. Oh, the direct twos as well. Direct to waypoint in the E-Jets, I don't think they work at all. Maybe I've had an experience once where it didn't run afoul of bugginess. So yeah, direct to E-Jets, direct to waypoint craziness, and oh, and there's VNAV bugs in the E-Jets too, where your vertical, the airplane will not know where it is vertically. It probably runs into some infinity loop, I would say, in the logic, and it can't snap out of it. And there's kind of some weird workarounds you can do to kind of fix it, but it's all just, you know, they've said, oh, reset your cruising altitude on page 2 of 3 of the perf init page in the FMS, and you go like, okay, and you know, that'll work, that'll fix the VNAV bug, but it's kind of like, of course the developer would know that, because the developer knows where the bug is and how to circumvent it, because they've written the logic. But so I'm just saying, when V3 comes out, X-Crafts, you know, I'll pay for what I should have been given in V2, in V3, because, you know, I'm not going to squibble over $20 or $25. But, you know, there's a lot of other people over there who $25 is, you know, maybe I save that $25 for a different product from a different developer. But they should really offer a V2 update fixing ILS capture issues and Direct2 issues. And then obviously give that in V3, but V3 is coming with holds apparently, and approach arcs. So we'll see. That's my spiel. That's my spiel, and I'm gonna stick to it. All right, let's toggle replay mode here, and I'll stop talking. So, yeah, look, the autopilot. Oh, hang on a second.
Auto.
Okay, so we went
Autopilot.
right around 500.
Autopilot.
It clicked back in. So the autopilot actually clicked back in. So here's me doing yoke inputs.
Approaching minimums.
Thinking I'm flying. That's me pulling back on the yoke. I had the speed. Very hard to keep the speed on this.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Bro, that's crazy. Bro, that is crazy stuff. Dude, what is going on in the tower over here? Oh. Oh, God. Bruce Willis is in the way of the landing. I'll be logging off here, but I'll be logging back in a bit later. We're gonna do another regional flight out of Washington, and we'll see where that takes us. Chai Pilot, Christian, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Ciao for now.